Boom. Synth fan at the top. Quick on the trigger. Welcome, my friend. Fox Hill Dreams, Johnny's 2 Cents, Tracy M, Anissa, Sandra, Cecile Kazimi, Bernadette, Tina G, Asmira J, Watcher Soko, Lucy L, Queen of the South, Kathy Murphy, Phyllis Hatch, Monique Lee, your boy Ken, the Trump Reaper, Sarah B, Marty, Ms. Nick, RJ, and BDD in the Easy, Sheila Bird, Linda K, Valerie G, Wilbur McCarthy, Cindy C, Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio. There she is. Jasmine Lacey, Lee Saunders, Lisa Straw, Samantha Hawkins. Scribbles my Dibbles. Hey! Christopher Cotton. That's a new one from Florida. Marty. Watcher Soko reminding everyone to please smash that like button. Hey! Sandra Lee has just subscribed. That's what's up. Oh, hey! Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Gling, gling! Oh, and there's Nisa with the donation. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back. We've got a jam-packed show today. That's why I was late. It was not because of CP time. Who said that? Stella Baxter is here. Solid Blue Sister, welcome, my friend. Fox Hill Dreams, Luppy Girl. Let's see, did I say Lisa Strong? Making sure I got everybody present and accounted for. Now, so before we get into what we're going to get into, let us do what we do in our stories of the day. Stories of the day. Wait, not that one, guys. Hold on. Here we go. Derek Chauvin was sentenced to 22 and a half years. It wasn't enough, but it was something. Criminal charges are facing the Trump organization. Let the crowd roar. Rudy Giuliani can't help him out this time. His law license is suspended. We are back with yet another game. We're taking it way back to the 70s. Name that tune. And last but not least is Senator Sedition Fist, the carpetbagger, the raggedy bish that is Josh Hawley. You raggedy bish. Hey, what's up, Cha-Cha? I see Cha-Cha has joined us. Welcome, everybody. So, so this part of the show is normally what I attribute to, random stuff, which usually entails what movies I'm watching, what TV shows I'm watching. But I want to take some time really to talk about wins, right? Wins. And it's ironic that I'm wearing my Brooklyn, my KD shirt, Kevin Durant. My Nets did not make it through. Neither did my Knicks. But I want to talk about wins because there is a tendency on our side. We have been subjected to 4 years, 4 straight years of a lot of losses, believe it or not. It did, at times it felt like we were winning, but really, we weren't really getting what the hell we need. We were obstructed by Mitch McConnell and we had Trump messing things up. But I want to talk about wins because we're 156 days into the Biden presidency. And, wins, they don't normally just poof materialize. They take work. They take work. I want to point to, since I got my basketball jersey on, I want to point to a game I was watching last night. It was the Suns versus the Clippers. Now, the Suns are heavily favored to win this series, and they're already up 2 games to 1. But at last night, they were up 2 games to none. They had won the first 2 games of this playoff, this championship, this West Coast championship series. Excuse me. But behind the efforts of the combined team, not just one guy, it wasn't just one guy doing the work, but it was a team effort. And I was watching this and I got really excited. I like to root for the underdog. So in this case, guys, I am rooting for the Clippers because they are heavy underdogs. It's not likely that they're going to beat this super team, but I like rooting for them anyway. It's how I identify as an underdog. So right before the buzzer went off at the end of the third quarter, Paul George jacked up this Hail Mary from midcourt, and you got to see it to believe it. Unreal. Unreal. So, it goes to show you, you might be down, right? You might be down in a fight, but you don't give up until that fight is over. You just don't give up. And there's really no reason for any of us to have our heads down 156 days into the Biden presidency, no matter what the pundits or the negative Nellies online want you to believe. But it's because there are a lot of things happening, but they're not happening fast enough. So what do we have to, feel good about? Well, in the past 156 days, a mere 6 months, we have over 300 million people have been vaccinated. The unemployment rate has been chopped in half. The infrastructure bill has some movement. It's not, like I said, it's not blazing light speed like we'd want, but it is moving. Yesterday, bipartisan support for this thing. Rudy Giuliani has been suspended. His law license was suspended. 450 traitors that attacked our U.S. Capitol have been arrested, and many of them are getting sentencing. Now, we can nitpick and we can say, oh, but it should be more sentence. But look, these things, they take time. The wheels of justice, they turn slowly. Speaking of the wheels of justice, we got the Trump Organization possibly being charged as early as next week. I'm covering a lot of this in the quick hits, but I just want to rack these things up for you. Merrick Garland is suing the state of Georgia over their voter suppression laws. Boom. That's another one. And last but not least, also being covered later on in the show, Derek Chauvin just got 22 years in prison. It's not a small sentence. You think about spending 2 years in prison. Just think about 2 years, how long that shit would last for you. 22 and a half years is a long time, like it or not. It should have been 30, but there's nothing to sneeze at. So, yeah, we do have a lot of things to take into consideration, to keep in perspective. So when you see people online talking about, oh, this is not good, this is too slow, whatever, just, hold your horses, keep your pants on. The wheels are turning. That's that. Okay, so let's jump into our quick hits. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take that. Some of my quick hits. Oh my lord, I've done it again. That's from the last show. Of course. It wouldn't be a normal BDD story time if I didn't have to do some on the spot edits. And I'll do that quickly because I got it like that. I got skills like that. That was a picture of Amy Klobuchar, who is a great senator, and a lot of people are calling for her to take the reins from Chuck Schumer. And to that I say, you know what? Again, hold your horses. Things are happening. Give the guy a chance to get his feet under him. All right. There we go. All right, so what we have here on the screen now is a picture of President Biden and Senators Rob Porter and Kyrsten Sinema and a bunch of other Republicans. And they're celebrating yesterday in their announcement of having reached a bipartisan deal on the infrastructure plan. Now, this is good because, Joe Biden has kind of run on his ability to work with Republicans and make bipartisan things happen. But there's a snag. There's a problem. He has stated that this is going to go forward in a two-track process. On the one track, they got this infrastructure bill that it's a lot less of what we wanted, but it's a lot of what we did want. Both sides gave some. Nobody was thrilled. And I told you guys before when we were talking about the Middle East crisis, in order to achieve a successful negotiation, both sides have to feel like they didn't get everything they wanted. That's it. So that's what you have with this infrastructure deal. But on the second track, they are moving forward with the reconciliation of the other shit that they wanted to pass, but Republicans they don't want to go along with it. So that's what we have. We have, okay, we'll do this bipartisan bill with you, but it's non-negotiable. There is a string attached, and it's a major string. It's reconciliation, like it or not. That take it or leave it. So it looks like a lot of Republicans are like, we'll leave it then. We don't care. But if you leave it, then you don't get the bipartisanship merit badge on your chest. So go blow chunks. And in the news today, we find out that Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance has announced that as early as next week, the Trump Organization, and mind you, the Trump Organization, it's an organization, but it consists of people. It's going to be facing criminal charges as early as next week. And, one can only wonder, when is the next shoe going to drop, and the next shoe? And a lot of people are still pissed at Merrick Garland that they are defending him on E. Jean Carroll's case, about being what the hell, the defamation case. But still, the wheels of justice are turning, albeit ever so slowly. We got some really devastating and tragic news yesterday, and I'm puzzled and perplexed by this. In Florida, in Surfside, Florida, there was a building collapse, a major building collapse that it seems that nobody was prepared for. This happened at 5 o'clock in the morning. Two buildings, I guess they were adjacent to each other. They just came down like a pancake, straight down. So far, 4 people have been reported dead. 102 are accounted for. but 159 people are still missing. Now, this building was only 40 years old. That's not that old. My house is almost 100 years old. It's like 80 years old, But yeah, that shit just came down at 5 o'clock in the morning. The rescue and recovery efforts are going on right now, but their mission is kind of daunted because there are constant rain and storms, is what I hear, down in Miami-Dade County, and it's making it difficult. I was watching video of this yesterday, and I just couldn't wrap my brain around this. How does this happen? Just two buildings, just no warning. There were people asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody knew this was coming. And of course, my conspiracy theory brain is working overtime on this because as they were showing video like 8 hours after these buildings fell, there's still smoke billowing out from down below. I find it hard to believe that this massive structure just fell. No warning, no nothing, it wasn't hit by a missile or a bomb or nothing. It just boom. How does that shit happen? It's disturbing as hell. While people are still reeling and trying to figure out what happened to their loved ones, I don't want to throw conspiracies out there, so you won't see me tweeting about that. But still, I'm scratching my head hard on this. Last but not least, Merrick Garland, and I don't have pictures for this, but Merrick Garland is suing the state of Georgia, specifically Brian Kemp, for their recently passed voter suppression laws. And Jen Psaki was questioned about this today, and I loved her answer. It wasn't her usual Psaki bomb, but she was very short and to the point on what's happening.
Go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
Jen, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp today accused the president and his allies of weaponizing the Justice Department to undermine election integrity. What's the White House reaction to that?
I would say if you have such a fear of making it easier and more accessible for people to vote, then I would ask you what you're so afraid of.
What are you afraid of?
Do you see the Justice Department as its only real way of going on offense against some of these sweeping efforts across the country to implement voting restrictions, that as opposed to legislation right now?
No, we don't. That's a good question. I mean, it is an area where, of course, the Attorney General and some of the as you know, Kristen Clark, Vanita Gupta, some of the highest ranking officials in the Justice Department the president nominated and pushed for their confirmation have long records of advocacy, effectiveness, and work on these issues. So he certainly entrusts them with the work they're going to continue to do on this front. We are going to continue to fight for, battle for, work toward federal legislation. I know it does not seem easy at this time. Hard things, we do hard things. That's what we do here.
We do hard things. I loved her answer. I loved her, bringing up the Vanita Gupta and, all the other team members that are involved in this effort, and it's a multi-pronged effort. Excellent. Jen Psaki is returning respectability and accountability to the White House, and it's good to see that. It's really good. Okay, so after that little bit of bad news on the Surfside, Florida story, I just want to offer my prayers and my condolences to the people. If anyone's out there who knows somebody who is missing or passed away, I want to offer my thoughts and prayers and my heartfelt condolences, because it was really a terrible thing that happened, and I hope they're found soon. And it is now time. I really need me some timeline cleanse. So let's do it. Timeline cleanse. The timeline cleanse. I need to cleanse the palate of my brain. Okay, so today's theme is magic. Magic. Fun fact, Magic was actually my nickname in high school. because people thought that, magic was easier than saying Majid. Because the syllables, Majid, magic, it's still 2 syllables, still 5 letters, but it's easier. It's Majid is so difficult to say. Anyway, the first one, this first clip, I often tell my kids, it doesn't matter what you do in life. It doesn't matter whether you're a street sweeper or you're a brain surgeon, whatever it is you do your best to be the best at what you do. And now I give you sign magic.
Oh my God. This guy. What? Oh my God.
I love watching those guys. If you've ever seen them, if you're ever driving on the road, yeah, they must practice for hours and hours. And I don't imagine that this is a high-paying job. But look at the dexterity, the skills,
Oh my God.
he's having fun with it. It's like, look, you can do that job one of 2 ways. You can stand there and hold the sign and look at your watch, and I can't wait for my shift to be over. Or you can make people look at you and take notice.
Oh
That
my
dude.
God.
I love it. I love it so much. And so did those drivers there. They were just watching. They were so enthralled by that. They're like, pull out the phone now. Take a video. Okay. And next up, I love magic, period. Actual magic, like magician magic. And I still have that childlike wonder in me where when I see a magic trick well done, I'm like, wow, how did he do that? And as easy as it would be, I assume it's very easy to just Google or YouTube how to do certain tricks. I don't wanna. But sometimes I do, and I feel like that with this next trick.
Illusion before, it's phenomenal. I love this.
This is amazing.
2 ounces is supposed to fill all of these one at a time. And then at the end, everything goes back into the 2 ounces. And these
Just
are,
watch this shit.
but we've gone to the next level.
Next level.
If you know anybody that has kids, you gotta
Tiny cup into a bigger cup,
This is just absolutely.
into an even bigger cup,
It's just
full,
It's just too much milk.
into the biggest cup,
Oh my gosh. Oh my Lord. It's too much darn milk.
full.
It's too much darn milk.
It's
It
too
is.
much milk.
And then at the end,
And now he has enough
comment says,
for
"Well,
all
you've
3
done it
cups.
again." This is too much fun.
Dude!
Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.
Dude, not only did I enjoy that shit, but I want so badly to look it up on YouTube, and there's something in my brain that's like, nope, we don't want to know. It's magic. That's how he did it. Don't want to know. and if anybody out there tries to tell me how he did it, I'm gonna be like, la 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 la. All right, next up, this is a different kind of magic. This is how you make a candidate for governor disappear.
Hi, my fellow Americans. Today it's my fellow Americans, not just my fellow New Yorkers. As you may have heard recently, a few minutes ago, my father's law license was suspended by the New York State First Appellate Division of the Supreme Court. Now, the 5 judges that ruled on it, Judge Rolanda Acosta, Judge Diane Renwick, Judge Sally Manzart Daniels, Judge Judith Ishii, and Judge Barbara Kaepernick. All 5 of them are Democrats, 3 of which were appointed by Andrew Cuomo. 5-0, ultimately. Democrats with 0 Republicans on there. Again, this is just unbelievable to see just how politicized
Sir, this is
all
a
of this
Taco
has
Bell.
become. I am infuriated by all of this. And any American that believes in an independent justice system, this is going after one of President Trump's closest allies. That's exactly what this is. And any American that doesn't believe that, they are just biased. This is unacceptable, and I stand by my father. He did everything ultimately by the book, and the fact that there would be this politicization in our Justice Department is disgusting. It is a cancer that needs to be cut out, and it needs to be cut out right now. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. I'll have more statements later in the day. Hi, my fellow Americans.
It's unbelievable. Look, it's a curious strategy. You're running for governor, and what do? You post a video that reminds people that your dad is an insane, batshit crazy criminal, seditious traitor who had his law license revoked. And boy, the judges that ruled on his case, they were severe. I don't have notes. I don't have notes about the things they said, about all the crazy things he substantiated. But yeah, these are professional judges. They have their P's and Q's together. They're not just going to, revoke somebody's law license or suspend it just, because they're Democrat. The judges are above that shit, mostly. Lisa Hathaway says, "Sir, would you like sour cream on your tacos?" That's fantastic. I love the internet. The internet remains undefeated. All right, so I'm going to segue right from that Andrew Giuliani bit to his dad's bit, Rudy Giuliani. How did Rudy Giuliani fall so far? He has really, really plummeted from heights that are unbelievable. Oh, that's not Rudy Giuliani. Oh, but that's not even better. That's not any better. The first picture was actually more flattering. But yeah, Rudy Giuliani has hitched himself to the Trump train. And, that's a good one. Tracy says Nosferatulani. That doesn't roll off the tongue very easily. But he's hitched himself to the Trump train and somehow managed to get himself tied to the train tracks. And there's no escape. There's no escape for him. There's nobody coming to his rescue. Trump isn't coming to his rescue. I don't even think Trump paid him. It's such a tragic story, but it's also hilarious. It's mostly hilarious. Just everything, when you look at this guy, when you look at where he started, he was a prosecutor. He was an attorney general, for crying out loud. He was the guy going after the mob. He was, at one point, America's mayor. Yeah, and I hated that he was mayor at the time when 9/11 happened because he didn't really do anything. Replay the tapes. He didn't do shit. But what he did do was he was very opportunistic, and he walked out there. Well, a lot of people were scared. I'll give him that. On 9/11, people were scared. And he did put his little FDNY hat on, and he walked out there, and he pointed at rubble, and he pointed at this, and he looked mayoral. He looked like he was in charge, and that's what people really did need to see at that time. And, let's not forget Hillary was there too, but we're not talking about Hillary now. We're talking about Rudy Giuliani. And after that, that was every other sentence he was bringing up 9/11. And do you remember that I was the mayor in 9/11? Oh, I forgot from the other 1,500 times you mentioned it in this conversation. But then, he decided to align himself, with a charlatan, with a criminal. And this picture with the shoe polish dye, streaming down his face is very appropriate. This dude was just a nonstop running joke. And it was amazing that Trump allowed him to stay out there and keep screwing shit up. Like his interviews were an embarrassment. The Four Seasons total landscaping thing is still funny. Is still funny to me. I mean, I can imagine him telling everybody else who showed up, yeah, we're going to be at the Four Seasons. We're having a press conference at the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons. I'm sorry, Mr. Giuliani. We just checked the address. Are you sure that's the Four? It's the Four Seasons. It was the Four Seasons. Total landscaping right next to a porn palace. Good Lord. And then there, of course, there was the Borat fiasco. He allowed himself to get filmed and photographed with his hands down his pants. It's not a good look for formerly America's mayor. Not a good look. But that is Rudy Giuliani. Really is, if the Trump presidency could be encapsulated in one person, I think even better than being encapsulated in Trump, right? Because at one point, Trump was, he was a sideshow act. Everybody knew he was a carnival barker, but he did have some kind of respectability to him. He should have just left it at being a freaking reality show star. He was, at one point, he used to be a TV star. But now he's a joke. He's a running joke. And let's not forget that time that he farted on Jenna Ellis. With the cameras running, with the audio running, everything was running. And then, of course, then he blew his nose and didn't even bother to flip the napkin onto the unblown side, which would have been so easy. You blow your nose, you close it, and you use the side that's unblemished with snot, or just get another freaking tissue or napkin or whatever. No, he took that shit and then proceeded to wipe his face all over during COVID. Oh, my Lord. It's a nonstop joke. So why would Andrew Giuliani just put himself out there to, reference his dad? Do you guys remember the 2000 election when Al Gore was running for president? He distanced himself from Bill Clinton like Clinton had the plague. Clinton had incredible popularity back then, despite, I'm talking about after the whole Monica Lewinsky thing. He was popular as hell. The economy was humming. He had a surplus in the budget, for crying out loud. Ran away from him because he thought Clinton was toxic. But Giuliani, his son, is running to him. So this segment was just to laugh like hell at a really ridiculous character. And I think, if it was a story written about him, it would be a tragedy. It starts off funny, and then it ends poorly. And it's ending poorly for Giuliani. It couldn't happen to a worse guy. Yeah. Speaking of things happening to a worse guy, Derek Chauvin was finally sentenced today, not too long ago. And if you were watching on TV, you would have seen testimony from members of the George Floyd family, including his sweet, adorable daughter, who is never going to see her daddy again. Never. And it's a tough thing to I can't even imagine asking a kid that age to go on camera. They were asking, if you could talk to your dad today, what would you say? And, it was difficult to watch the testimony of these people. These are people who lost someone. You might say, oh, they're grandstanding. No, dude. You lost somebody in a horrible way. You lost a member of your family, and everybody on the planet saw how he was killed. Killed like he was nothing. And this jackass, Derek Chauvin, he couldn't muster even an ounce, an iota of remorse on his goddamn expression. Huh? This expression is wild. This is how he looked while people are up there, choking back tears talking about their brother or their father. This is how this fucker looked. Even one of the prosecuting attorneys, and these guys are professionals, they're pros. They do this thing all the time. You know how many clients they have who've been killed? Lots. Could barely choke back the tears. This guy too. And then Derek Chauvin's mother got up there. I guess she didn't see the video that we all saw because she was up there saying, thinking that he's innocent. Sorry, Mom, he's been convicted. And she wanted, mercy on her son so that they could have their special hug. I don't even want to get into what the hell that special hug is. But she said he was a good, honorable man. You know what? If he was so good and honorable, he would have taken his goddamn knee off of George Floyd's neck. He would have taken that nasty smirk off his face while he was busy snuffing the life out of another human being. It's hard to watch her. She's a mother, and a mother is going to love her children. But what about the children? What about the child that was George Floyd? She had not a word to his family. She didn't offer any condolences to the family of George Floyd, to the daughter, to the brothers. Nothing. Nothing. Later screw your goddamn special hug. You can hug yourself to sleep. So finally, Judge Cahill said that he wasn't going to drag this out. He wasn't going to make a big speech or anything. He had it written down what he was going to say. And he prefaced his verdict by saying, I'm not doing this as an answer to the public. I'm not beholden to anybody on this verdict. It is what it is. And he said, we are recommending 270 months. And I was quickly like, I couldn't process that simple math in my brain. Google that shit. That is 22.5 years in prison, minus the 199 days he's already served. That is a long ass time. It's a long ass time. Like, imagine if he's 40. I don't know how old. Does anybody know how old Derek Chauvin is? I didn't even look it up. He looks like he's probably about anywhere between 40 and 45. My guess. I didn't bother to look it up. He does not look young. But that is a long ass time to be behind bars. He's 45. Thank you, Esmila J. So he's going to be 67 when he gets out. And when he gets out, he's not allowed to possess or own a handgun or any kind of gun at all. That's it. So his life really is kind of jacked up. It is jacked up. Most of us were kind of rooting for 30 years. 30 years would have been the maximum that he could have gotten. And I was disappointed. I wanted him to get the maximum, and even the maximum isn't enough. But still, if I'm being honest, 22 and a half years is a lot more than I actually thought he was going to get. I was preparing myself for a lower verdict. I was preparing myself for somewhere between 12 and 15 years. Because we've seen it all before. We've seen it. Most of the time, in instances like this, the cop gets a measly... They get acquitted. So he wasn't acquitted. He was convicted. He was sentenced today. What does this do to the rest of America? We still have a cop killing problem. Cop killer problem. Meaning the cops are killers. And they're killing our unarmed black men. There's still a problem. And I heard as recently as yesterday that Senators Cory Booker and Tim Scott are close to working on some police reform bill, which is a good start. And nope, I still don't want to defund the police. but they do need to be reformed. And this is another one of those things, guys. You're not going to win with that messaging. Anytime you say defund the police, anybody who doesn't have time to stick around for your 5-minute explanation of what defund the police actually means, they're going to think you want to take guns out of the hands of cops. You want to take uniforms. You want to take all the equipment they need. You don't want to even pay them any salary. You want to defund them altogether. So no cops. That's what people think. That is a losing messaging. Figure it out. That ain't it. If you're looking for messaging, that ain't it. Come up with something else. But until then, incremental change, incremental progress is what we got now. We don't have enough numbers in the Senate to do more than incremental change. Recognize and realize that we ain't running shit. We barely have a majority. So, all in all, this was a good week. And today was a good day. George Floyd is still dead, unfortunately, and his family is still without him, and they're gonna be suffering for the next 22 and a half years and longer. But a win is a win, and I'll take it. As Smila J says, they need to scrub the police departments clean and thorough background checks to check for ties to white supremacists. Ka-ching! Because that is an excellent answer. Thank you. Lee Saunders says, question Solid Blue Sister style. Solid Blue Sister is getting props for her questioning style. Solid Blue Sister, you get the props. Here's Lee Saunders' question. If Derek Chauvin had killed a white person that way, how long would he have gotten? Not that he would have in the first place, because systemic racism. That's an excellent question. Excellent question. I would like to think he would have gotten more. But I don't know. I don't know if this would have even... I'm not even sure it would have showed up in the news if he had done that to a white man. Honestly, I don't know. That is an excellent question, though. Pasta D says, deconstruct, reconstruct, Popo. Yes. The Trump Reaper has an interesting question. She says, I wonder if the Aryan Brotherhood will protect his coward ass. I gotta say, his haircut definitely had that Aryan Nation energy, if you know what I mean. It's that far away from being a skinhead hairdo. Okay. So, guys, thank you for your comments. I want to jump right on into our next segment. It is the funnest one, and I'm so excited about this. It is the, what the hell is it? It's the 70s. It's the Name That 70s tune. Why am I so excited about this? Because I think the 70s are really very underrated when it comes to music. When we talk about the decades with the best music, you almost never hear people talk about the 70s. Almost never. It's always the 80s. So a lot of people say the 90s because that's when they grew up. I don't know who's saying the 2000s, to be honest with you. But mostly I think it's the 80s that people are talking about being the best musical decade. But when you start to look at the songs that came out of the 70s, it's impressive. It's very impressive. So, for those of you who are new to this guessing game show, what I'm going to do now is, for the most part, I'm going to be singing. And I'm not a great singer. I never said I was a good singer. I'm going to sing, for the most part, just like the first few words, maybe the first line of these songs. And I'm saying just the first few words or the first line of this song because these are so iconic, I don't have to say more than that. And that's why I say, really, when you look at it, the 70s were freaking phenomenal. The diversity of music that came out, it was everything from like pop to disco to, R&B, so many amazing Amazing songs. Amazing. Okay. It's also when I was growing up. It was my childhood, and I have a very special rosy bubble around it. Okay. So when you hear the song, when you recognize who it was and what the name of the song is, in this instance, I'll take either the name of the song or the name of the artist. It's fine. You type it in and you hit send, and I read off the first. I'm only doing 5. I'm only doing 5, maybe 10, because I got a lot of songs. Ready? Are you ready? Here we go. First one. You can dance, you can jive. You got to know what that one is. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl. Watch that scene. Dig it, the dancing queen. Yeah, it was ABBA. ABBA was like, they were huge in the 70s. 70s. And at the top is my very own sister, Scribble My Dibbles. Her name is actually Nicole, but Scribble My Dibbles is first, followed by Shanti, Synth Fan, Tracy M, Linda K, Lee Saunders, Sylvia Correa, Victorina, Samantha Hawkins, Jen and Fat Tony, Smila J, Kit Ford, Cha Cha, Stella Baxter, Gavin Rutherford, Corey Lord. That was like 15. I'm not going to do that every time, but you guys all got that one. Okay, next one. Next one is a different tempo. I feel so bad, I got a worried mind. I'm so lonesome all the time since I left my baby behind. Ah? Mm-mm-mm. Saving nickels, saving dime. All right. And so I see we got a whole bunch of people correctly guessing Linda Ronstadt. Oh my lord, Scribble My Dibbles, you are on a roll at the top again. She loves the 70s music with Linda Ronstadt, Blue Bayou. I'm coming back someday. All right, let's see. Stella Baxter, Asmila J, Kathy Murphy, Kit Ford, Misha Oliver, Linda K, Natalie Bierman, Cha Cha. Ah, there's Wifey. So, Wifey was helping me last night with some of these songs. It wasn't this one, but she's helping me with these. She helps me with everything, really, especially when I'm doing music. I test these things on her. Victorina, Luciel, Synth Fan. Oh, no. She says, you're so good. Are you saying I'm so good, or were you guessing the song? And Samantha Hawkins. Okay. Next up. First I was afraid. I was petrified. See, this is what I mean. Like, you guys already know this song. You already know. I just sang like less than 10 words. You already know what song this is. Kept thinking I would never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. And I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. Yeah, this is a fantastic song. This was Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. And at the top, we have Monique Lee. For a new one, there's Monique Lee, Samantha B, Tracy M, Scribble My Dibbles. Nope, not Donna Summers, Sheila Bird, not Aretha, Stella Baxter, Linda K, Samantha Hawkins, Sylvia Correa, Kathy Murphy, the Trump Reaper, Kit Ford, Jen and Fat Tony. Here's how powerful this song is. This was like her major hit. She might have had some other hits. I don't know what they were if she did. If you say Gloria Gaynor, I say I Will Survive. This one major hit, everybody knows her name from the 70s. Lucille says, this song helped me when the idiot left me. It's not just you. This was like, this was the national anthem for women who, like, had shitty relationships and shitty people that just left them holding the bag. Yeah? Powerful song. Powerful. Okay. Next song. I got to flush that song out of my brain for this next one. Okay, here we go. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Again, just the first line of the song. And already, you guys already know. I'm sure of it. Let's see. Yeah, I see a bunch of people correctly guessing. This was Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, starring Stevie Nicks. And let's see. Let's see. Oh shit, Christopher. This has nothing to do with the song. Christopher Cotton says, Never Can Say Goodbye was one. Whoo! I love that song. That is an excellent song. Never can say goodbye. All right. At the top here, we got Tracy M with Dreams, followed by Linda K, Cha Cha, Kit Ford, Shanti, Synthfan, Natalie B, Asmila J, Patricia Haverkamp, Jen Murphy, Samantha Hawkins, Cecile Kazemi, Victorina Wilbur, I'm giving you partial credit. You said Rumors. I think it's on that's the album, right? Rumors. Monique Lee, Scribble My Dibble, Sylvia Correa, Lucille, Jennifer, Tony, Monique Lee. All right. Next up. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac was boss back then, too. I got another one for you. Are you ready? Here we go. For so long, you and me been fighting each other for so long. And feeling that I feel for you is more than strong, girl. Take it from me. If you give a little more than you're asking for, your love will turn the key. This is interesting. I have stumped you guys. Everyone except Jen Murphy and Stella Baxter. Jen Murphy and Stella Baxter are the only two people thus far who have correctly guessed Andy Gibb. Now, I'm giving the rest of you guys partial credit. Partial because he is a brother Gibb, but he was not the Bee Gees, which was the majority of answers I got was the Bee Gees, but is not correct. This was I Just Want to Be Your Everything by Andy Gibb. So the second place guesses, the partial credits go to Cha Cha, Stacey Mendenhall, Scribble My Dibbles, Monique Lee, Victorina, Stella Baxter, Tracy. Nope. Not Tracy. Synthfan, Kit Ford, Natalie B, Phyllis Hatch, Valerie G, Lightbulb Moments. Welcome, Lightbulb Moments. Linda K, Bernadette. Okay. I can't give you guys full credit for that because he was not the Bee Gees. He was the Andy Gibb. All right. Next up. Here we go. The problem is all inside your head, she said to me. The answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There must be. Huh? Huh? Yes, Natalie B. You tried. I love that you tried cake from the Simpsons. Let's see. Okay. You guys are good. You guys are good. Yeah, that was Paul Simon with 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Just about the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. No need to be coy, Roy. Just listen to me. All right, at the top, we have a new person, Kit Ford. At the top of Paul Simon, followed by Scribble My Dibbles, Shanti, Stacy Mendenhall, Jen Murphy, Matt Meehan. Welcome, Matt Meehan. Jen Murphy, Natalie B, Chop Chop, Lucy L, Kathy Murphy, Phyllis Hatch, Stella Baxter, Water Soko, Linda K. Okay. Very good, you guys. Very good. Synth fan wants to know any rock, hard rock, or punk tunes. Not today, but trust me, I'm making my way there. I will get there. Okay. Last night, wifey told me just do the first line. Dun, 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 dun. When are you gonna come down? That's it. Yes, Natalie, I do understand random spellings. Yes. We all do the typos. Scribble My Dibbles, what did you take some guessing game Wheaties before the show? Are you juicing? Okay. Despite that, yes. So those of you who correctly guessed Yellow Brick Road or Elton John, you got it. You are correct. And at the top is actually Monique Lee at the top, followed by Scribble My Dibbles and Kit Ford, Cha Cha, Linda Kay, Synth Fan, Phyllis Hatch, The Trump Reaper, Ruben Michaels, Sylvia Correa, Lucia, Lasmila J, Cindy C, Natalie B, Alaska Cindy, Jen Murphy, Stella Baxter, Linda K. Yes. Elton John was a freaking giant and a genius. Did you guys see the movie Rocket Man? I watched it like 2 or 3 times. I love that movie. Love Elton John. Whoo! I mean, you don't even realize how brilliant that dude was. He had amassed a ton of hits before the 80s even happened. And then he went through some shit just before the 80s. And when he came out of that, he came out with I'm Still Standing, like a mega hit. Dude is phenomenal. Elton John, ladies and gentlemen. All right. But that song, Yellow Brick Road, whoo, love that song. It is amazing. Okay, this song is from Wifey. Wifey recommended this song to me, and I was like, perfect. That is beautiful. It's brilliant. Let's see who can guess. You guys get extra credit. I will take the name of the song, but you get extra credit for guessing who the artist is. I was tired of my lady. We've been together too long. It's not Split Ends. It is not that. Okay, so extra credit goes to Linda Kay, who is the first to answer, but also the first to correctly guess Rupert Holmes. The song was, it's the Pina Colada song, also known as Escape. It's Escape, in parentheses, the Pina Colada song. And I got a fun fact about this, but let me just run through these names real quick. We got Kit Ford, uh, Tracy M., Linda Kay, Wilbur McCarthy. Wilbur, you were very close. She said Murdoch. I'm assuming you thought Rupert Murdoch, but it was Rupert Holmes. So close. Jen Murphy. Ah, there we go. Stacey Mendenhall gets extra credit for guessing the name of the song and the Rupert Holmes. Samantha B. Scribble My Dibbles. Sheila Bird. Jen Murphy, extra credit is Samantha Hawkins, Jasmine Lacey, Shanti, Jen, and Fat Tony's. Everybody got this. Now, the fun fact, and you guys probably already know this, right? But I actually never listened to the lyrics of this song. I'm all about the chorus. If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain, and the melody, the beat, everything is grooving, right? But apparently this song is about this dude who was married and he was kind of on the outs with his wife, right? And so he started reading like one of those personals columns. He was trying to meet somebody else while he's still married to his wife. And then the story gets crazy because he goes to meet this woman. He answered the ad in the paper, and who was it? It was his wife. They were cheating. They were attempting to cheat on each other. And they got there. They're like, I didn't know you liked all that shit. What? That is like, I was last night years old when I learned that that's what that song was about. Gavin Rutherford said, basically, they're a pair of cheating bastards. Yes, they are indeed. All right, I think I have one more song. I believe it is, yes. No, sorry, I got two more, so I got to speed it up. Okay. I think if I just give you the intro music, you'll know this one. Listen up. Da 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 da. Young man. And yes, if you correctly guessed YMCA or the Village People, you are a correctamundo. Now, this is a testament to how strong this song was, that it has lasted 40 years, 50 years. I don't know. Like, Trump was actually using this at his rallies, even despite the fact that they were like, please cease and desist using our song, man. Young man, old man. There's no need to be a clown. All right, so correctly guessed was Stacey Mendenhall, Sheila Bird, Cha-Cha, Scribble My Dibbles, Patricia Haverkamp, Sylvia Correa, the Trump Reaper, Natalie B., Lee Saunders, Luciel, Samantha B., Valerie G., Luppy Girl, Esmila J., Kit Ford, Samantha Hawkins, Watcher Soko. Okay. Last song. Last but certainly not least. Listen up. We don't need no education. Oh, look at Novik is back again. Welcome back, Novik. I see you. I see you down there. We don't need no thought control. Okay, and at the top here, if you guessed Pink Floyd, Another brick in the wall. You are correct. At the top here, we've got Linda K, Lee Saunders, Synth Fan, Canterbury, Tracy M, Shanti, Samantha B, Jen and Fat Tony, Scribble My Dibbles, Monique Lee, Victorina, Asmila J, Anastasia Austin, Natalie B, Sylvia Correa, Phyllis Hatch, Lucia, Lisa Straw, Patricia Haverkamp, Stella Baxter. Okay, very good, you guys. Excellent. Oh, thank you for letting me share this game with you. It is really fun. And yes, Trump Reaper, the movie is disturbing. The little video that goes along with the song, with the music, holy shit, it's disturbing. It shows kids going through a meat grinder and, yeah, all that stuff. But, yeah, testament, amazing how many of those songs have lasting power. Powerful decade that was the 70s. So, yeah, I submit that the 70s is probably the best musical decade. Fight me! All right. Last but not least, I gotta wrap this up. Last but not least, we got I'm going back to the You Raggedy Bitch because today's is kind of special. Hey, Jen and Fat Tony, thank you for the donation, my friends. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. And today's You Raggedy Bitch is none other than Senator Sedition Fist Josh Hawley.
The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is clear. No American who is engaged in insurrection or rebellion is allowed to hold office. While 7 Republican senators voted to overturn the 2020 election, Ted Cruz. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is clear. No American who is engaged in insurrection or rebellion is allowed to hold office. While 7 Republican senators voted to overturn the 2020 election, Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley share the most blame for firing up the violent mob of Trump supporters that attacked the U.S. Capitol and killed 5 people.
We will not go quietly into the night.
There were big problems with this election. There were major election integrity issues. There needs to be an investigation. There need to be changes to the law.
The same terrorists who Josh Hawley greeted at the Capitol with a raised fist broke into the People's House with the intent to kidnap and even murder elected officials.
Death is the only remedy for what's in that building.
Even after the Capitol was breached and blood had been spilled, Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley continued undeterred to lie about the election. Now militia groups are planning to attack the Capitol again next week. Even more Americans could be hurt, all because Cruz and Hawley refuse to accept any responsibility. Cruz and Hawley are too dangerous to wait to vote out. They need to be expelled from the Senate immediately and prosecuted for aiding and abetting acts of terrorism.
Okay, so thank you. I'm sure many of you have already seen that video. We produced that during just like maybe 5 months ago, right? Just right after the January 6th attacks. A little side note, Linda K wants to say, asking, no carpenters. They missed the cut, literally missed the cut by that much. I was already going to do one, but maybe next time. But yeah, so today, Carpetbagger Hawley was trending on Twitter. Now, this picture here, everybody has seen this. This picture is going viral. Josh Hawley was holding up his fist to the people who would later participate in this, the beating and killing of U.S. Capitol Police, spraying, crushing. This was not a pretty scene. And Josh Hawley was like, yeah, man, right on. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. And so we were concerned, we at Really American were concerned that, Senator Sedition Fist was not being held accountable for his actions, neither he nor Ted Cruz. So we did what we do best. We stir shit up. We are shit stirrers. That is what we do. We need to, The right has their shit stirrers. The left has to have their shit stirrers. That is us. So we put together a billboard campaign to remind people that Josh Hawley betrayed Missouri and America. But guess what? Here's a fun fact here for you. Josh Hawley, he don't even live in Missouri. No, he's a senator from Missouri, but he most certainly does not live in Missouri. He lives in Virginia. He's using his sister's address. So we deployed our billboard trucks, and this is one of them on the screen here. And this billboard truck happened to be driving around the neighborhood of Josh Hawley's sister, who has a medical practice down there. Now, were we targeting his sister? Hell no. No. It doesn't say her name on that truck, on that billboard. I don't even know what her name is. I don't even know what she looked like. Actually, I didn't know what she looked like until today when Josh Hawley plastered his sister's face on his Twitter page. We didn't mention her name. We didn't post her address. No personal details. Nah. It's just a guy who looks like a freaking beach bum driving the truck. He's not, carrying any signs. He's not banging any drums or blowing any horns. He's just got a quiet little truck just saying, hey, your brother betrayed Missouri and America. Kansas City Star, published an article, as did many other news outlets, saying Josh Hawley, who owns a house in Virginia, uses sister's home as Missouri address. Isn't that interesting? So today, he tweets, my sister is a doctor and a Navy vet. She spends her life serving others. This week, a Democrat group has come to her clinic during working hours multiple times to harass her and her patients, driving a billboard truck around the clinic, all because she's my sister. Dude, we don't even know nothing about your sister, man, except for the fact that you use her address, but we wasn't at her address. The group is called Really American PAC, funded by the Democrat site Act Blue. This is disgusting and cowardly behavior. If they have a problem with me, they can come to my office and take it up with me. But to target and harass my sister and those she served is pathetic and shameful. So where are we visiting you, Josh Hawley? We're visiting you in Virginia? Because you sure as hell ain't in Missouri. Yeah, we don't give a shit, man. And you are going to be hearing from our lawyers because you are trying to defame us. You're saying we're trying to harass your sister, but surely that is not our intent. No, we're harassing you. That is your face on that billboard truck. And you are a traitor. And really, he's just putting out that out there because he's not making money the way Marjorie Taylor Greene and what's that other one's crazy Lauren Boebert. He's not making money hand over fist like them. He's not ginning up enough outrage. So he's trying to use us. He's trying to intimidate us. This is the guy who was complaining that he was being censored while he was saying that on a major national news network, saying he's being censored because of his beliefs. Yeah? So you want to censor us because we're trying to hold your seditious ass for being an insurrectionist? Nah. We will not be intimidated. We will not be bowed. And we will not stop We're doubling down. We're going to get some more billboard trucks out there. Huh? Huh? And we want an apology, too. Public one. Written. Signed, Senator Carpetbagger Hawley. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, Cha-Cha throwing his sister under the bus. Nobody even knew what this woman looked like until he posted her picture there. By the end of the day, the right wing will be saying, Really American posted pictures of his sister. No, we didn't. Nope. It's fake news. It's fake. It's fake news. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I got time for really only 2 questions because I went over time again. I apologize for that, but I had a lot of stuff to say. Cindy C says, hit that like button if you're still out there watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I most certainly did today. Let's see. The Trump Reaper has a question. How did you start working with Really American? I was connected with Really American, with the guys behind Really American, from a friend of a friend. They just reached out to me via DM, and back then, that's when I was probably reading my DMs like once every other day, once a day, every other day. Now it's not as often, and I need to get better with it. It's just sometimes I'm afraid of what I'm going to find in my DM groups. I do want to talk about DM groups at some point. I see that there are times when people drama develops in these DM groups, and I've never liked that about DM groups, which is why I tend to try to stay away from the drama. I don't like the drama. I like creating content. I don't like drama. But that's how I was connected to Really American. They had a need for a designer, and I had need for, some freelance work. And that's how it started. Monique Lee says, Dad, do you feel that anyone that took part in sedition should permanently lose their right to vote? No. No. I don't. Just the same way we're trying to get people who are convicted felons their right to vote reinstated. Yeah. I understand it's a different kind of crime. It's sedition. But if they do the crime and they do their time, you're presuming that they've learned their lesson. And Stella Baxter, I don't know what tonight's movie is. I have not a clue. Solid Blue Sister, I'm doing this. This is already the 4th question. This is it. Solid Blue Sister wants to know, what do you think it will take for the former guy's supporters to understand and get it through their heads the big lie is a big lie and MAGAs have been used for financial and political gain? Nothing will break them out of that shell. Nothing short of him coming out and publicly admitting, you're all suckers and losers. I took you for all your money. And even then, they might not even believe it. That's not President Trump. No, there's somebody. They're doing that funny video thing where they make a video that looks like somebody's saying something, but they're really not saying it. It's somebody else putting words in their mouth. That ain't our President Trump. I don't believe that at all. I won't believe it until he says it directly from the mouth of Jesus. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, a.k.a. Brooklyn Dad. And if you're going to go out tonight or this weekend, please be sure to wear your mask, wear your gloves, keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And have a lovely, groovalicious evening and weekend. We'll see you guys here Monday, same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Uh. Boom. Aaron Davis has a 6-hour drive to Maine tomorrow. That's a long drive. Make sure you get yourself some coffee for that one. Hey! Good God! We've got a warning here from Cindy C saying, be careful, Washington people. Heat wave through Monday up to 107 degrees. That's hot. That's hot. That's way too hot. Hey, hey. Corey Lord, good luck to you, my friend, on the application for the new job. Keep us posted. Not yet, watch yourself. She's asking if you need to leave yet. Yeah. All right. You guys, it's a great show today, and this show is great because of you. And now, watch your Soko and everybody else. It's time because you need to leave.